Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Old School Shoots. Today we have for you, this episode will be subtitled Fuke Doesn't Give a Fuck, because we have two of his more exciting shoot matches based on conversations with William Colosimo and his conversations with the guys from Pancrase. We have decided that these two matches coming up here were indeed shoot fights involving Takaku Fuke. The most famous one of his is actually against the TIE fighter Lawi Natapaya, but I tried to watch that one the other day and I couldn't quite get through it, so we went for the more fun ones. First up, we have his match against Minoru Suzuki on the 25th of January 1992 show. Fuke shooting in low, Suzuki grabbing front headlocks. And why do I say this is a shoot? Because it has the weight, the balance, and it doesn't sort of have traditional pro wrestling high spikes. It just looks like these two guys trying to wrestle and submit each other. They're not striking very much, but they are attempting to submit each other, which looks to me like the match between Suzuki and Funaki back in the UWF. And of course, prior to this, both guys have been in shoot matches before, so we've had a nice turnover from the underhook there by Minoru Suzuki on Takaku Fuke's back. Fuke is trying to separate the hands of Minoru Suzuki, who's got him from behind here. And were this a pro wrestling match, we'd see a suplex, but Fuke has attempted to roll into a knee bar, but Suzuki has sprawled out on that one and is now grinding his forearms into Takaku Fuke's poor face. We must all, on this YouTube channel, we respect and love Yusuke Fuke for being the closest thing to a real pro wrestler, in that he uses pro wrestling moves in actual MMA fights. Doesn't necessarily do very well, but yeah, he is a fun guy to watch. And reportedly, an extremely nice human being. Really just getting swamped here by Minoru Suzuki. Back to front headlock, a dangerous spot for to have Minoru Suzuki in. Suzuki using the front headlock to attempt to snap him down. Takaku Fuke attempting to sit out there. Returning to standing. Suzuki's got a front headlock here. Got half ouch. Attempts to drop toe hold from Suzuki. That's ridiculous, but yeah, looked legit to me. Sort of went into an arm drag and then reverse leg scissors to get Fuke down to the ground. Now he's on Fuke in this sort of wrestling ride, sitting on the shins, using the underhook and then crossface. Snap Fuke down. Fuke attempts to get out. Double wrist lock from Minoru Suzuki. They are in the ropes. Broken by the referee and stood up. Alright, back fighting. And fighting here, no strikes from these fellas. Which again, puts it in that sort of shoot match style. Well, shoot match makes it more of a shoot in my eyes, given that these two guys were wrestlers, and they could probably get a attempted arm roll there from Fuke. Another attempted rolling knee bar from Fuke. He's trying. But yeah, I reckon they'd have an easier time of getting everybody to agree to have this to be a shoot match if they just said they'd go out there and grapple. That way they wouldn't injure themselves for the upcoming events. Well, they're less likely to injure themselves or concuss themselves to stop them turning up for the upcoming events. Mind you, they didn't stop them in Pancrase days. Fuke going belly down and popping up to his feet over under clinch here. Not a good place to be with Minoru Suzuki. Attempted suplex there from Takaku Fuke. Foot sweep attempt. Oh, and a lateral drop from Minoru Suzuki. Beautiful stuff. I've made a gif of that before. So yeah, he kicked the shin, sort of going for a cross sweep on Fuke. Fuke stepped back to regain his balance, and then Suzuki used that too. Oh my god, look at that! Knee ride on Fuke and forearm ride from Minoru Suzuki, just mean. But yeah, use the step and the sort of the sacrifice of that balance from Fuke to hit that awesome lateral drop. Cattle mutilation attempt here from Minoru Suzuki. Just got double unders and linked his hands behind Fuke's back. Oh, into an armbar, and Fuke reaching his foot on the ropes for the escape. And straight away the fellas have stood up, and I think, yeah, Fuke's elbow was hyperextended a little bit there. That is not good for him. So, well, I would say 2 less points, but a down and a rope escape there from Takaku Fuke, all from the one move, which is well done for Minoru Suzuki. Alright. Suzuki's got a strong overhook here. Got double overhooks into a nice suplex there. Very nice. Very tight Greco-Roman double overhook suplex there. And a nice bridge too. Like he stepped all the way across Fuke, sort of twisting him over the top of the body rather than trying to bridge him straight over. A safer way to land those suplexes. Oh, uses the double wrist lock turnover and into the armbar. Grabs the leg so Fuke can't escape and gets the tap again and waits until the referee gets super involved before he gives up on it. And the crowd liked that one. So that was a good little match there between our two fellas. I enjoyed it very much, but yeah, dominant performance from Minoru Suzuki, and looks like he's legitimately busted poor Fuke's elbow there, poor fella. And he did have some good hyperextension on that one. Fuke, legit tears. And the two kowtowing to each other in the ring. Alright, and we're on to our next Fuke shoot match. 4 months later. Up against the star of the promotion, Minoru Suzuki, which is pretty cool. And you can see that Fuke has his knee taped up here. Alright, here we go. Low kicks from, yeah, from Funaki and, oh, kick from Fuke. He's not allowed to do that because he's not wearing shin guards. And the referee's like, what are you doing, Fuke? You're not wearing shin guards. This is the civilized society. But you can see these guys are actually throwing heat at each other and not really throwing strikes. Not throwing like pro wrestling sort of style strikes. They're putting some genuine heat in there. Good boot from Minoru, from Maskatsu Funaki there. Oh, good slap from Fuke. Unbalances Funaki there briefly. Low single shot and just gets completely stopped by Funaki. Uses a 3/4 Nelson, attempting to use the overhook here. Oh, nice, nice grappling there from Fuke. Steps over the back into sort of a wrestling ride and then swings himself back round into front headlock. I might have to remember that one for the future. Going into a crucifix attempt here. And straight into an armbar, but Funaki ain't gonna fall for that shit. Funaki's already got his elbow free. Gonna end up in the guard and attempt to pass Fuke's guard here. Of course, this grappling is going to appear somewhat more rudimentary compared to their later stuff, which we've seen on the channel, but still, you know, still pretty good. Still has the idea of grappling in there. But given that this is just their gotch slash Fujiwara teachings rather than their later stuff where they cross-pollinated with two guys. Nice slap on the ground there from Funaki. Steps over into scarf hold, cranking up on the neck of Fuke briefly, and now just slapping him in the face on the ground. Going back to cranking up on the neck, attempted to look like he bothered Fuke there for a little bit. Fuke tries to escape, does manage to pop his arm free, but then Funaki immediately backsteps into mount to prevent the escape. Punches him in the body, tells him he's a bitch. Fuke trying to go belly down to escape. Funaki half Nelsoning there. Or quarter Nelsoning, not quite sure. I'm sure Dan the Wolfman will come and tell me that I've called that Nelson the wrong Nelson. Fuke throwing slaps up from the bottom, so he's obviously a little bit lost. Because strikes from the bottom are usually not a technique thrown by someone who's fully confident in what they're doing. Oh, God! Funaki just kicked him in the face, and Fuke's tweaked his knee here. Palm strike from Fuke. Oh, head kick and a slap from Funaki. Boots out the standing leg of Fuke and slaps him really hard in the face. You dick, Funaki. What an asshole. Trying to separate the grips of Fuke, and Fuke just immediately goes, nah, don't want to be on the ground anymore, and just puts his foot on the ropes for the escape. Knee in quite a lot of pain, it seems, because he did tweak it there. Now he's just hopping on it. What a badass. Just completely no-selling the fact that his knee is in pain, just standing on his toe. Slaps from Funaki, really hard slaps on poor old Fuke's face. Oh, that was a good one. Wobbled Fuke a little bit. Well, of course, it's hard to tell if he's wobbled. Oh, another one. Whether or not he's wobbled or whether or not he's just nearly tripping up. Fuke shoving Funaki away. 1-2. Funaki weaving his head out of the way, landing slaps straight back. Oh, body kick. Yeah, that one took the wind out of Fuke there. He dropped his arm down to the bottom. Lands more palm strikes. Nice striking from Funaki. Loving it. Oh, and Fuke timed the duck. He's like faked a strike and Funaki ducked into it. And Fuke attempted to jump on a Kimura there. Not a Kimura, on a guillotine there, but just fell straight off into guard. And of course, we're going to see the rudimentary guard passing skills of early career Funaki. It's not really something that the guys in Pancrase were great at. Like the first one I remember seeing like meaningfully passing guard, who was actually a full-grown Pancrase guy, was Keiichiro Yamamiya. Fuke trying to kick up for the armbar. Funaki just pushing down the leg, flattening the leg. Probably going to use that to attempt to pass. If he kneels on that, he can like shinlock Fuke. Fuke trying to kick all the way over for the armbar here. Fuke doing his best, and Funaki keeping his hips square, preventing that armbar entry. And just levering in on the forearm choke. Backstanding. Backs out. Fuke attempts to stand up and doesn't have enough space, so Funaki just jumps straight over and out. Fuke attempts to sit up into him. Funaki adjusts his base. Briefly goes to Z mount and then back to the normal mount. Fuke rolling, giving up his back. Straight into the armbar goes Fuke, but well timed. Funaki well timed Fuke briefly to get his head out, but then he's back in the armbar. Attempt. Funaki working to break the grips here. Fuke attempting to get out. Funaki rolling around, just leaning back on that arm. Oh, drops the arm there briefly, goes back to getting the grips. Fuke doing his best to escape here, but Funaki just has him pretty stuck. Let's see what Funaki goes to here. Tries to go back to the armbar, but Fuke keeps his head buried and manages to come up into Funaki's guard. Briefly passes, jumps straight into the armbar, but Fuke's wise to that and just flops straight up. We're gonna back out of Fuke. Oh, just slaps him in the face here. I thought that Funaki wasn't really going to engage. Now he's just cross-facing Fuke from top side control, which is uncomfortable, especially when you get someone twisted like that. I like doing it because it's it is an overcommitment. Nice body punch too. Uses that to change into a double wrist lock on Fuke. But I like doing that, even though it is an overcommitment and can result in you getting swept. It's just a fun move, just to like make life uncomfortable. Uses the double wrist lock to pass around to the other side, grinds his elbow into Fuke's body. Oh, crooked neck scissors! That's cool as fuck! But slips off Fuke's shiny hair. Now he's just grinding his forearm into Fuke's face, but Fuke doesn't give a shit. Returns to standing. Yes, Fuke! Oh, eats a kick on the way up. Good pump strikes from Fuke. Oh, and just a big counter slap from Maskatsu Funaki. Floors our man Fuke. Poor fella. Oh, up at 9. Well done, Fuke. Sidekick from Funaki, palm strikes from Fuke, gets into front headlock again briefly, but now Funaki had a single underhook. Oh, double overhook suplex attempt from Fuke, but he wasn't twisted on his side, and probably with that knee, would have been difficult to get enough bridge and power in the bridge to get Funaki over, so Funaki just flops into mount. Unfortunate by Fuke. Stop hitting yourself, says Funaki, before going straight into the armbar and hyperextending the elbow of poor old Fuke. Another masterclass by another of the Pancrase founders on one of their mates, one of the guys who started Pancrase with them, took out a loan on his own house to help start the company. But I hope you fellas enjoyed that, fellas and maybe one woman, I don't know. But I certainly did. It was fun watching those fellas destroy one of my favourite fighters, and in a promotion that was traditionally a pro wrestling one. So I hope you enjoyed that episode of Old School Shoots, and I shall see you all next time.